Hello, happiness abounder, and welcome back. Another week and another episode on happiness. And I'm so excited to bring you this episode. However, I might need to forewarn you, you might not like me so much after this episode because I need to call us out on our crap. Truthfully. Because here's the thing. We all kind of know what it is that we need to do to be happier. We know that, we should probably journal. We should probably read more and watch less TV. We should probably be working out. We should be doing more things that we love, spending more time in our relationships and with our families. And there's all these components that come into play that we know will help us be happy, but we don't really do them. And on top of that, there's things that we know we could be doing to progress towards our goals, to make more money, to lose the weight, whatever that goal may be for you, even if it's just to be happier, and we don't do them. So that's what I want to talk about today, is I want to hone in on that and just for a second say, yeah, you know, but knowing isn't half of the battle. I'm taking a course at Yale about happiness and the psychology around happiness. And one of the misconceptions around happiness, which we already knew, was that for a lot of people, they'll listen to podcasts like this and they will say, yeah, I knew that. I know. But that leads me to ask, does that actually make you happier? Does knowing make you happier, or does taking the action make you happier? And most people think that knowing is half of the battle. I would argue that it's maybe at a maximum 25% of the battle. You need to have the strategy, you need to have the knowledge, sure, but then you've got to take the action. Knowing won't help you be happier. Living what you have learned, gaining that experience will help you be happier. Now let me shift gears really quickly for a second here. I promise this ties in. But this week, where I live in Salt Lake City, Utah, not only did we start our quarantine process for the coronavirus, but we also had an earthquake. And this is where it gets interesting, because for so long, so many people, I've heard them say things like, oh, if I could just spend more time with my family, I'd be happier. If I could just not have that long commute to and from work, I'd have more time to focus on my goals. If I could just be home more. You get where I'm going with this? There's so many times that we have said, oh, I'll be happy when, or I could do this if. And what's interesting about the quarantine that we are in is that extra time with the family, that's there. That commute to and from work, not there. Most of us are working from home. Spending more time at home, having more time to work on those things that are important to you, it's there. But then the alternative is, well, everybody's sick or they're going to be sick and I'm stressed out about that and we had an earthquake and so it's just hectic and crazy and I can't be happier and I can't work on my goals and I can't achieve what I want to achieve. I can't work on that business idea. The thing is we will always find excuses as to why we can't go after our own happiness. Can't go after it because I don't spend enough time with my family. Well, now you've got the time with your family. Can't go after it because that commute to and from work is way too long. Well, now you don't have that commute to and from work. Oh, I just can't focus on my small business. Why? The thing is there's always going to be something that offers you an excuse, whether it's there's earthquakes, whether it's there's sickness, whether it's the commute to and from work, whether it's you need more time with your family. What I'm seeing is that for a lot of individuals, all those excuses that kept them from their goals are those excuses that are now non-existent. Those have been solved. But then there's more excuses and there's more things, and it's really easy to settle in the comfort of unhappiness instead of going after what it is that you want. And here's how this ties into knowing being half the battle, air quotes around that, because we've just discussed it's not. We think that because we know what we need to do, that automatically means we'll be happier. And then we offset that, knowing that we actually should take action, with all the excuses so that we don't have to, so we can live in the comfort of our own unhappiness and not take the risks of what our life could look like to, in fact, be happier. To, in fact, start that business or that side hustle that you've wanted to do for years. Or to, in fact, get that goal that's been on your mind. There's always an excuse. And that excuse is always fed by, well, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it if I had time. They feed and breed off of each other. So today, I want to call us out. I want to call us out on our excuses. What are we saying to ourselves that we think is a viable excuse that if it was gone, if it was solved, are we finding other excuses? Or is that like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I can get to that. And you're going to get to that. Is it a viable excuse, or is it just something we've been telling ourselves so that we don't have to take the risk of our own happiness? And then that being said, what do you know that you're not acting on? Because here's the thing. For so many of you, us, even me, I will listen to other podcasts. I'm part of a business mastermind, and I will attend all my classes there, and I'll be like, yeah, I knew that. Do I act on it? Sometimes I do. And when I do, holy cow, does things just escalate to this amazing place quickly. But when I don't, it's like, yeah, I know it, but I'm not acting on it. And that's one of the hard things about a podcast, is that I am a person of action. And I imagine if you're listening to this, you are too, because that's the audience that I attract, right? You are a person who takes action. You are a person who invests into your own happiness and goes after your goals. So what excuses have you been telling yourself that aren't viable, that are holding you back? And are you telling yourself that you know what you need to do and then using those excuses to not do it? Because as a person of action, I know that I need to take what I hear today and apply it to my life. And most of us don't do that. Most of us don't apply what we learn, and therefore we don't reap the full benefits of what we've learned and experienced, and gaining the wisdom to help us, in fact, be happier and achieve our dreams and our goals and override those excuses. Now, as a person of action, and that being one of the hard things about a podcast, that is also why I do mentoring. You've probably heard it at the start of each episode. I put in a little thing saying, hey, if you're tired of feeling this way and you want to do this and you want to do this, like, let me help. Let's work together. Let's take that, and I say at a max, 25% of that knowledge and build upon the knowledge, but take action on it. So in a time of coronavirus and quarantines and earthquakes and sickness and all of these things, if you are well and you want to take advantage and take action during this time to elevate your happiness and go to those next levels, I want to encourage you to not just know, but to know, see where your excuses lie, tell them that they're not going to work anymore, and take action. Now, that doesn't have to be taking action with me as a mentor. That can be taking action in any way that you need to take it. But I guarantee that when you take action and you move forward, you will reap the benefits and you will be happier. So that's what I have for you today. Like I said, I just want to kind of call us out on our crap a little bit, because there's always going to be an excuse. And there's always going to be, well, I know, if only I had this. And that's the thing. How important is your happiness to you? Because everybody wants to be happy. But if you don't take action on it, you don't want it enough. Everybody wants to get their goals. If you don't take action on it, you don't want it enough. Or maybe you desperately want it. And in that case, shove those excuses to the side. And know what you know, but take action. Don't get caught up in analysis paralysis. So that's what I'm leaving you with today. I hope this is an eye-opener. I hope that this helps. If you'd like to work with me and take that action, please let me know. You can find me at happinessabound.com. I would love the opportunity to work with you. But above everything else, remember that you do know you can move forward. Don't let those excuses take over. And above everything else, you are capable of happiness abound.